All right, I'm gonna tackle this corner right here. Do a quick video showing you guys how. All right. Now you see how this is silver? Oh, when it starts getting like this, it's time to go. First off, you just need to use the hook to take your spline out. Ooh. All right. See how easy that rips? It shouldn't rip that easy. It's already old. Nothing lasts forever. You gotta change the screens. Even though you don't want to, you have to. All right, so what I do is I measure from here to there, then I measure from here to there. So from here to there, right at 7 feet, but that's too tight, so I have to go at least, I'm gonna go at least 87 inches just to be safe. Now we're gonna measure this way. All right, so what I do now, just cut it right here. All right, now the trick with these corners is instead of trying to put two pieces, so we used to do that when we first started trying to learn this many years ago, and you always have wrinkles in the middle. So we learned that if you treat this as one square instead of two triangles, it comes out much smoother, much cleaner, no bubbles. And what I do is I pick the straightest beam, which they're both straight. I can start on either one. So what I do is I'll start on this beam, come all the way down, and then I'll close it out right here, get a perfect L, perfect 90-degree angle, and then I'll pull it there and pull it there. That's how you get the screen on there with no bubbles. You got to make sure to cut your screen longer than the opening. And you can cut whatever you're comfortable with. I usually try to leave an inch out. Sometimes when it's big screens like this, I'll leave them 2 inches out just to make sure I'm not short. It just depends. But at least if you leave it an inch out, that should give you enough room where you can pull on in case you mess up. You got some kind of play there to fix your mess up. I use the side with the groove in here first, just to get it in. I'm going to show you in a minute how it looks on this side. If you're doing it right, you have this right here, and it'll roughly be the same all the way down. I mean, my cut wasn't perfect, but you get the idea. You kind of want to leave the same out, same all the way down. That lets you know that you're straight. And if you look at your squares, they should be perfectly aligned that way. In other words, you don't want your squares like this. That lets you know you're doing it wrong. If your squares are like this, all these little squares, then you know you're doing good. All right, I got this side down, and okay, the other thing I didn't mention is as you're going down, you want to cut it. You know, you want to cut it because then trying to get up here to cut it afterwards is not easy. So what I do is I cut it as I'm coming down, as I'm rolling it in, maybe every 2 feet or so, wherever I can reach, and I cut it, continue on, cut it, continue on. Now we're going to continue with this side. We're going to do the L I'm talking about. All right, now I jumped out here. I moved the ladder outside now, so I can work this outside. And you see, I got what I started there. You see everything's kind of wrinkled up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of position it the way it's gonna be. If that makes any sense. So that's okay right there. My main concern is making sure that this is squared off right here. See, I'm pulling it, and I'm still looking to make sure that these little squares are still lined up this way. You can see right away if they start to twist like this, you can see right away that you're going wrong. They start to look like this, you're going wrong. You need them parallel to this. If this is straight, which it is. And if you're doing it right, you should have about the same length out from here to there. You should have the same length going all the way down. and you just kind of use that. You can't pull on it. I'm gonna put this on without even pulling on it, but I know just from this length right here and the squares that I'm doing it right. So you'll see. I can show you better than I can tell you. Use the groove part right just to get it in. I'm gonna do a little bit here so you can see. And I'm just looking at the squares, making sure that they're parallel with my 2x2 here. Make sure that I got my 90-degree angle still going here. If you're off, then you're gonna have wrinkles in your screen at the end there. Now you see I'm not really pulling it on anything yet. So that's what I got right there so far. You see it's still over here, it's still not all the way put, but I could tell by my squares here, by my length here, and I'm pulling on it just kind of this way a little bit. I'm going little by little. So what I like to do for this, I usually will leave this in and not cut it till the end just to make sure, because if you're short or something happens, I'd rather lose an extra couple minutes and just move even if I have to move the ladder back. So I usually will leave this hanging out. I won't cut it yet. I won't cut it till my screen's all the way on there. Whoosh, jump to the next. And just kind of pull on it right here, and you can see a little bubble here. Just kind of pull on it until most of it's out, and that lets you know you're doing good. But like I said, the main thing with this is doing that L, doing the L shape first, like we talked about. The main thing is doing the L shape. If you do that, the screen should go on pretty easy for you. All right, I moved my ladder back inside. So this was going on. We got this side and we got that side. We got my L I keep talking about. Now this is where you're gonna pull on it and actually finish your screen off. We're gonna continue like we started. Same way we did that one. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this one. Now right here, you do want to pull on it. You want to pull that way and down. And now you don't have to pull on it to a point where you're gonna break it, but you need to get some kind of weight on it a little bit. Some people like to use a really sharp blade. I like to use one that's a little bit dull, just in case you slip. It's happened plenty of times. You're like this and you slip and you cut the next screen. All right, we got this up so far. I'm kind of trapped in here, so now it's time to jump out. As I was coming down, I was cutting all this, so I don't have to come back and cut it and suffer. The only parts I don't cut are the part at the end out there, which is hanging about a foot out. And then once this part's on and I see the screen is good how I want it, then I start cutting the ends here. All right, I'm outside now here. Now we're gonna go ahead and finish, close this up right here. As long as you follow the directions I told you, then your screen is gonna be fine. I'm gonna start in the middle here, work my way that way, and then here and go out that way. You're dividing the wrinkles to each side a little bit. Oh yeah. You see them wrinkles up there? I don't know if you can see it. Pull on it, they're back. Pull on it, they're gone. Pull on it, they're gone. Let it go, they're back. So all you gotta do is pull on this right here. This is the final part. This is the part where you gotta pull. Now you see we're here towards the end. It looks like I have 0 wrinkles, so I did pretty good right here. We're just gonna roll this up. All right, now it's time to go that way. right, so far so good. All right, from up here, everything looks good. The final test I like to give it is I look at it from the bottom. Let's look. No bubbles. No bubbles. Everything's good. Everything's on here perfect. All right, what I like to do before I cut it, I just kind of give it another extra little roll here, just make sure everything's tight in there. And I'll cut like this. Now my blade's a little dull, so I might have to run it to, no, it's good. Cut it here. All right, we got the corner screen up. Leave in the comments if you got any other ways to do it, but this is the way I found the easiest and the best way to do it after 20 years of doing this. So leave a comment in the videos, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.